Hey, what's up everybody? Today we come to you from the ghost town of Ludlow, California. Well, it's mostly a ghost town. It's just off of the old historic Route 66, and right behind me is the old Pendergast Motel. There's quite a few abandoned structures around here, and we're going to try to go into each and every one of them, take a look around, see what we can find. If you ever needed a location to film a horror movie, I would say this house right here makes a great candidate. I've seen a lot of photos and video of this place online, and it looks like it's crumbling apart pretty good. So we're gonna go inside and see what's left. We're gonna try to go through the front door here. Gotta be a little careful because I don't know how sturdy this stuff is. We'll just take a quick peek in here. Doesn't look like there's anything interesting except for a bunch of debris and spray paint cans. According to trailsendpublishing.com, the motel was originally called the Mohawk Hotel and was moved here along with additional cabins from Goldfield, Nevada in 1921. It was eventually purchased by Venus and Penny Pendergast shortly after moving to Ludlow in 1939. And I was able to find some old photos of the motel and cabins from back in the day, and I'll show you guys here in the next couple minutes. Here's the back view. This porch is all tore up. That would have been your view in the morning. I really want to see what that building is right there because that looks like it's probably got something pretty interesting inside. Man, I tell you what, the longer I stare at this building, the more I get the feeling Leatherface is just going to come right out and grab me and bring me down into his dungeon. Here's an old photo I found of the motel taken around 1940. And of course, here's what it looks like today. It's sad to see something like this succumb to the actions of vandals and people up to no good. It would have been nice to preserve this building so that way people could visit it for years to come and learn its history. Well, that was pretty cool. But now we're going to go check out the owner's house of Mr. and Mrs. Pendergast. Alright, let's see what's behind door number 2. Just gotta watch out for rattlesnakes. Make a little noise, let them know. We'll do our signature knock. Hello? If anybody's in here, we're just filming, not trying to scare the crap out of you. Oh, a hide-a-bed. I haven't seen one of those since the 90s. You got that old school carpet down here. Check out that smoke detector. That hasn't aged a bit. Alright. Let the rattlesnakes know we're here. I'm assuming this probably would have been the bathroom then. Yep. Would have had your shower curtain right there. Towel rack there. And the shitter right there. That old tile. Reminds me of something you'd see in like All in the Family or on That 70s Show. Here's a photo of Venus and Henry Pendergast. He was also referred to as Penny. According to trailsendpublishing.com, Henry retired in 1967 and passed away later that year. After his passing, Venus moved to Escondido, California to be closer to her son. She ended up passing away in 1989. And this building that you see right here was one of the cabins that belonged to the motel. And after exploring it, I thought it was just some sort of utility shed, but I was wrong. We can even compare it to an older photo of the cabins that was taken back in the 1940s. And as you can see, there is a few similarities, and it has certainly aged. Now, the town of Ludlow was founded in 1882, and while there are many abandoned structures surrounding the quaint little town to this very day, there is still a few active businesses running, such as a gas station, cafe, motel, and a few other small businesses. And while it may not be Aspen or La Jolla Beach, it is still worth stopping in at, especially if you plan on getting your kicks on the old Route 66. Now, on to the next destination. One thing that never ceases to amaze me about California is the gas prices. I swear to God, you could buy a cheap six-pack for that amount. Crazy! The drive on Route 66 can be a pretty boring one at times. The mountains do provide a little bit of visual entertainment here and there, but other than that, the views of the vast desert get old pretty quick. At least until we got closer to Newberry Springs, California. My eyes caught some old stone buildings as we took a turn on a road that we probably shouldn't have been on. Here's what we saw. Yeah, we are definitely in the back country today. and that actually plays a part with the abandoned houses that I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. But I wanted to check out these abandoned structures real quick. We got one structure here and two over there. I've drove past these many times out here in Newberry Springs, but I've never actually stopped and take a look. I just love that old school look to these. It's so amazing. This is either a dumping ground or someone was probably living here at one point in time. This kind of reminds me of the buildings in Two Guns, Arizona. I always find this type of architecture so interesting because someone had to do this rock by rock. You can see the frame right here. You would have had a window. If I had to guess, I would say this probably dates back to the early 1900s. After poking around here for a little bit, it became quite clear that I was not going to find any clues or any items that may hint to these buildings' past. Some things will just always remain a mystery, except for this next place. Alright, so we're not too far from the abandoned houses that are buried under sand, but we encountered a problem. So there's my car, and here's the road. There's a big patch of sand right here, and then it clears up just up over there. And last time I was here, there wasn't a whole lot, and I was able to drive right through it, but I do not want to get stuck. And look at this. Not maintained and not responsible for any loss or injury suffered by reason of its use. So we're not going to be able to drive through there, but I have a drone. So we're going to try to get that up in the air, and hopefully it's not too windy, and I can kind of give you guys a glimpse of some of those houses that are buried in the sand. Let's roll. Now, I know what you're thinking. At least, I think I do. What on earth happened here, and why are all these homes, buildings, and vehicles buried in sand? Well, I'll tell you. You see, this is exactly what happens in California when you have morons with too much power making decisions for the people. Just kidding. Mostly. So, the actual story goes like this. According to LATimes.com, from the years of 1979 to 1991, sand started to build up around this neighborhood, and county maintenance crews were ordered to clear the sand by relocating it east of the Mojave River Channel, which wasn't but a short drive away. Now, this went on for year after year after year. Maintenance crews would come back to these neighborhoods, clear the sand, take a short drive, and then dump it. The crazy part is, when they did this, no one seemed to bat an eye or wonder where all the sand that they had been dumping was going. The reality was, all this loose sand was being blown right back to the Newberry Springs properties. And as time went on, the sand dunes grew bigger and bigger, consuming houses, sheds, fences, cars, you name it. One resident even tried to build a wall to keep the sand from getting in, but unfortunately, that only prolonged the inevitable. Families were forced out of their homes due to the sand invasion. Now, I was out here a while back and made a more in-depth video on the history of Newberry Springs and the sand catastrophe. I'll link that video in the description in case you want to check it out. And before we move on to the next destination, keep this in mind. If you look closely, you can see in some areas where the sand is damn near up to the roof and covering some of these homes. That's always made me wonder, what else is buried out here that we're not seeing? Some of these homes were mostly visible last time I was out here. There was even a boat, a bus, and some more vehicles. Who knows? In time, you could be driving down the road out here one day, staring across the desert, not knowing there's a small community buried beneath the sand. So we just left Newberry Springs, and I was actually going to make my way to the abandoned hoola water park, also known as Lake Dolores. I was going to film a little bit over there for another video that I was making, and I'll let you guys know when I post that. But as I was driving over there, I found another set of abandoned buildings, so we're going to go check these ones out too. It's really kind of becoming the ultimate abandoned building experience, so if you guys are liking this video, smash that like button. Alright folks, here we have our abandoned, I don't think it was a gas station because I don't see any sign of any gas pumps. Unless they ripped them out a long time ago. Could have just been a little cafe. Wouldn't surprise me because a lot of these are cafes. Something stinks. Or something died. Or maybe both. For any of you guys that are from the California or Southern California area, and you know what this building might have been at one point in Jesus' time, let me know. Unfortunately, there's those that think because it's abandoned, you can just dump your trash anywhere you want. Which is not the case. But I bet it was a cafe. They probably had like a menu or something up there. Bathrooms and kitchen back here. Alright, this one's kind of boring. Let's go check out that stone building over there. Get your kicks on Route 66. Any stone building like this, I absolutely just love. Just knowing that it's still hanging on. I mean, the roof's been, seen better days. But I love this type of architecture. Knock, knock. Honey, I'm home. Yeah, this place definitely caught fire. If that wasn't the reason why it closed, I could see some drunken idiots or vandals coming out here and just setting it on fire just for their pure enjoyment. Jerks. Well, I hate to say it, but that one wasn't too interesting. Nothing really worth, getting all excited about in there. I am going to drive down to Hoola Water Park, and maybe I'll show you guys a few clips of that one. I've already made a video out there, and if you guys want to check out that video, click the card in the upper right-hand corner. I'll probably put it on a screen toward the end of the video as well, too. But I figured, while I'm here, why not send the drone in and check it out? It's a nice day. Hoola Water Park, also known as Lake Dolores, is located between Las Vegas and Los Angeles. It was built in the early 1960s and was quite a popular tourist attraction for people traveling back and forth between California and Nevada. It had a 1950s rock and roll theme to it and featured many different water activities, such as water slides, kiddie pool, lazy river, and more. Now, I don't want to give too much away about this old water park, and there is a reason why it's in this condition today. I did make a separate full-length video detailing the history of the Hoola Water Park and its downfall. I'll put that link down in the description below for you as well. You won't want to miss it. At one point in time, this was the place to be for family fun and a popular summer pit stop to let your kids out and go crazy, so mom and dad could day drink by the lake and complain about the economy. But if you've ever been to Lake Dolores when it was open, feel free to share your experience with us in the comments section down below. I would love to read all about it. Next, we made our way to the little town of Baker, California, home of the world's tallest thermometer. Now, I really don't see what's so great about it, but if you must know, it commemorates the highest official temperature recorded on Earth back on July 10th, 1913, with a high of 134 degrees. That's pretty f***ing hot.
That's hot.
This little town has been on my radar for a while now, and it's not because of the little alien store that they have there, although it is worth visiting, and they do have some pretty interesting gifts inside and some eye-catching attractions on the outside, so if you're into aliens and stuff like that, you owe it to yourself to stop here. But Baker, California is also home to another unusual attraction. Alright everyone, so now we're at the abandoned Bates Motel. Well, just kidding. Kind of. We're at the abandoned Royal Hawaiian Motel in Baker, California. This place first opened in the late 1950s, and I do believe it closed in the early 2000s. We're going to walk around here and take a look and see what's left. Check out that sign. Kind of reminds me of the paintwork in Circus Circus in Las Vegas. Faded and outdated. I saw someone make a video on this place. I can't remember their channel name, but if I remember it, I'll shout it out. And it looked like they had a pretty awesome ceiling in here. Alright, let's take a look. Dude. Yeah, check out that ceiling. I don't know what it looks like under the shingles, but from here, it looks amazing. It looks like someone put a lot of time into that ceiling. Really cool. What do we got over here, a tub? Kind of looks like what you'd expect an abandoned motel to look like. And I imagine this was kind of the lobby check-in area. I don't know that we'll go in all of these, but we'll definitely pop our head in a few. I was just getting ready to walk around to the back of the hotel, and I saw a picture of Luann. Wonder whose bright idea that was. I've seen multiple videos online where there was a pool at this place, and I was messaging a few people about it, because some people were saying they filled it in, they fenced it off, and I was like, well, we're just gonna go find out for ourselves. And it looks like we can still access the pool. I don't think we're gonna be going for a swim anytime soon, but empty, abandoned swimming pools are always so cool to look at. Be a great day to go for a swim, that's for sure. Actually, it's not too hot. I think it's in the mid-80s today. So empty and lifeless. That one actually looks like it caught fire over there. Almost kind of looks like that pool in Two Guns, Arizona. Boy, it really echoes here. Could you imagine dropping in? That'd be pretty cool. I gotta say, it is super, super creepy here. You almost kind of get that feeling like you're being watched. Although that could just be the shrooms talking. Hello, if anyone's in here, we're just filming. Whoa, this is cool. This would have been a pretty dope view though back in the day. Just come out here, you got the pool right there, landscapes and the palm trees. Usually I try to go in here and try to find some information. Newspapers. Oh my god. Oh, look at that. That tells you how old this place is. I have not seen one of those since like 1998. At first glance, the Royal Hawaiian Motel might look like a meth addict's paradise, and it's pretty obvious as to why. But back in the day, this motel was a much-needed place to stop in at, especially after a long drive with a nagging wife and kids that won't shut up. Or so I've been told. The Royal Hawaiian Motel first opened its doors in 1957, and in fact, here's an old photo of the motel that I found on Stuckey's.com. And here's a side-by-side photo comparison. The photo on the left is pretty much like a person who has never done drugs, and the photo on the right, well, speaks for itself. According to Stuckey's.com, the motel had 43 rooms, and after Interstate 15 expanded and Las Vegas started building more bougie hotels, people just didn't stop in at Baker like they used to. The motel finally closed its doors in 2009, and according to some Yelp reviews, it's no surprise as to why. With complaints about mold, water-stained ceilings, and rusty pipes, it was only a matter of time before this motel kicked the bucket. So if any of you guys watching this video have ever stayed here, share a story or share your experience with us in the comment section down below. I would love to learn a little bit about this place and hear what you have to say.